Movie thoughts. The Neon Demon, and for once I have no idea how to actually start this, because this film is weird. Directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, which is, I butchered that name, I know I have, but he was the director of Drive, which is a very visual film, and this is pretty much the same. And to be honest, I literally don't know how to describe this film too much, but because if I tell you the story, it doesn't quite get across what this film really is. But I'll tell you the story as much as I can without giving away any spoilers. So, there is a very young, attractive, aspiring model who comes to Los Angeles literally very much in her youth. She's 16 years old, and she wants to be a model. I said aspiring model a while ago. Yeah, she's aspiring to be a model. Come on, Womble. Already said that. Get your words out. God damn it. So anyway, she comes into Los Angeles as a newbie, and she's trying to hit it big. And it works. Like, a lot of people love her because she looks very young and it's very innocent. And the whole point is that she has this natural beauty that the other models can't have. And they get very jealous very quickly.
You're going to be great.
So, as she progresses, pretty much her character changes, and that's pretty much the whole film. It's just her progression through the modelling industry. Now, it's a lot more than that, because, as I said before, Nicholas Refn, he directed Drive, and that was a very visual film. If I remember right, it was a very visual film. And this is a very visual film. Like, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of bright colours, and it's all very visually pleasing right at the beginning. Pretty much all the way through it. Every shot is very visually over the top, so every single shot is set up to make it look beautiful, and I think the director's purposefully done that for a number of reasons. So, the first reason, right at the beginning, it opens up with a photo shoot with Jesse, who is playing a dead model who has been murdered, and there's a photo shoot, and it's very awkward. There's a lot of shots that just hold it for like a couple of seconds too long, and it's purposefully made to make the audience feel awkward and weird, and that doesn't stop throughout the film. There's a lot of shots that are just held, and it makes you go, okay, we get it. Now, I actually like that style of direction, and I like that style of cinematography. I think it's fantastic to see. Like, it's telling a story visually instead of spoon-feeding it through dialogue. It's a very hard thing to do, and Refn does it really well. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm probably going to get told off. I don't care. But he does do it very well. However, there is a subplot, a story, and I'm not going to say anything about it, but it gets very, very weird. This film calls itself a horror film. I guess it's more of a psychological horror film, and for the most part, there isn't much horror in it. It's just very bombarding, and you feel you feel it. Like, there's a lot of things that happen in the film, like there's a lot of drama, but it's not like horror, it's not gore until right at the end. And then right at the end, all that awkwardness and all that is sort of feelings you have, they all just escalate. And for me, I think he takes it a little bit too far. For my personal tastes, there was a few things that kind of I wanted the film to stop a few minutes earlier than when it did actually stop, because for me, I was like, wow, it's weird. So, like, really, there's very little to no dialogue. I mean, most of the story is in the visuals, and I know I've said that. I'm going to say that quite a lot. One thing I do want to note is that Jessie's character, I like how, as her character grows, she kind of loses her innocence and becomes less attractive, because she's wearing more makeup. I think this might be my personal taste, to be fair, but she's wearing more makeup, she's becoming a model, and she kind of starts to blend in with the other models a little bit, and I think that's a very cool visual play on maybe the modelling industry, and that they put loads of makeup on someone, and that doesn't make them attractive. What makes them attractive is their natural features, and that's mentioned a few times in the film, and I think that I like it that way. So yeah, that transformation of the character was really good. I really enjoyed it, especially towards the end. She has like a really great kind of speech at the end, which is like, oh wow, that's great. I love it. But then it all falls apart. I mean, it doesn't. I think like the story that the director was trying to tell, he sold it and he made it. Like, he had a vision and he made it, and fair dues for him for sticking to it, because a lot of companies would have said, no, we're not touching this, we are not touching this. But it's very art nuance. Keanu Reeves is in this film, which I didn't realise that he was actually in this film until I sat down in the cinema. I'd seen the trailer before as well, and he's not in the trailer at all. But I sat down, and then there was just his name with Keanu Reeves. I was just like, wait, Keanu Reeves is in this? What? So yeah, he's in this film, and I actually really like him in this. It's great to see him as like a villain. He actually does that really well. He does a really good job with this. I think he's in part of his acting career now where he is getting a lot of things right, and that's great to see that. But at the final ending, I did kind of sit there and I was like, what is this film? Like, there's a big bit where I'm just like, I think they've gone a little bit too far. But I can't take marks away from that, because as though it's not my taste in films, like, it's very artistically pleasing. Like, there's a lot of people that I think might enjoy this. Although, having said that, there was only 4 people in the cinema, and we all stood up at the end. I'm usually the one that stays through all of the credits and, like, looks at all the names and tries to see who's been doing the editing and who's been doing the writing and stuff, and see, like, match them up with other films. I'm that person. I like to do that. But I just stood up and I was out, along with all the others. We all just, like, stood up, awkwardly walked out, did not look at each other. We walked through the cinema foyer and we were just like, nope, we weren't in the same cinema screen together, let's just go! So yeah, kind of a little bit disturbing towards the end. Anyway, you see, here's the thing, right, with scoring this, I don't know. I generally don't know. I'm generally stuck. I can't give this a number easily. I've got to sum it up. Like, visually, it's very good. Like, there's a lot of beautiful shots, and it makes you feel how you're supposed to feel, and how the director's feeling. But my own personal tastes are getting in the way. I don't really enjoy this that much. When they put too much of that stuff is kind of overwhelming, and I think even, like, people who like this sort of thing might be a little bit overwhelmed with it. I could be wrong with this, but I'm still going to give this a 7 out of 10. So, yeah, as much as I didn't enjoy this, as much as I did say The Green Room or something else that was 7 out of 10, which I can't actually remember because I've got a really bad memory, as much as I didn't enjoy it as some of the other 7 out of 10s, I think direction-wise and what it's trying to achieve, it hits all the points. And it is a good film. Like, if you kind of want to get freaked out and feel awkward, go and watch this film. But I'll tell you this, don't bring a date to this film. Don't Netflix and chill with this, because this is, yeah, it's not that sort of movie. Anyway, guys, until next time, I'll see you then.